Hello, my name's Ashley Enriquez, and I'm here with Michelle Bladesau. We are offering the Awakening Joy program through the Center for Mindful Living in the fall of 2025. We thought we'd start by honoring our teacher, James Baraz. He's the co-founder of the world-renowned Spirit Rocks Meditation Center and the author and creator of the Awakening Joy 10 Steps to Happiness program. And here we're going to answer a few of the questions that you might have, and we're going to start with our experiences. So, Michelle, could you start and tell us your experience with the Awakening Joy program?
Yeah, so James Perez was my mentor he's been my mentor for over the years. And what drew me to him was his course, Awakening Joy. Um, Before that, I had given up really ever feeling genuinely happy again or after some family tragic events. So I believed I was destined to never feel whole or experience true well-being. So, so I took the course and I thought the course was fun and enriching and full of learning and meeting wonderful friends. Um, but I really wasn't sure if it had awakened anything. And then maybe it was a couple months later and I was out walking and something was deeply troubling me. And all of a sudden, there was just this shift inside of me. The course had awakened something in me, and took a difficult time to notice it. And I felt this deep inner joy and presence. And when I looked around, I could suddenly see all the beauty around me and experience the joy, even amidst the difficulty. So since then, I've continued to lead awakening joy groups every year, and I'm forever grateful to James's course and the immense sense of well-being that it has brought to my life. And Ashley, what is your experience with awakening joy?
Thank you. Yeah, I went through a very difficult time where I was diagnosed with a chronic condition, and um, it was bad enough that we were debating whether or not I could live alone. And I was in my 20s to decide whether or not I could live alone was really detrimental to the spirit. And someone introduced me to the Awakening Joy book, and then I learned that there was a program. And since then, I've leaned all of my teachings and personal experience into awakening my own joy and trying to keep that place amidst multiple challenges and difficulties in my life. And last year, was actually recommended to apply. And that's how I then did the teacher training program. Um, and it's just something that deeply impacts my life on a day-to-day basis and want to share that with others.
Wonderful, thanks.
So, what if someone can't relate to the word joy?
That's pretty common. If it doesn't resonate with you, try another word that's more accessible, like well-being or awareness, waking consciousness, waking contentment, aliveness. Um, During the course, we'll be using different words. And we suggest you find a word that works for you. And Ashley, what are some of the topics we'll cover?
Yeah, so we'll dive into each of the 10 steps, which include intentions or inclining the mind towards joy, mindfulness, gratitude, joy in difficult times, and then loving others, letting go, loving ourself, compassion are just a few of those 10 steps. So, why is the course so important?
Well, it's easy to lose sight of the goodness or the joy that we have in our lives, and also easy to get caught up in stories and challenges. So when we intentionally turn toward and hold the good, we begin to create pathways of well-being, and over time, the joy can be a steady foundation or a baseline rather than just a moment that you have occasionally. So it's something that continues to be there.
Yeah, so what did it take for us to get certified? So, as we mentioned in the beginning, we're certified teachers under James Brass. After completing the coursework as participants, we then applied to the teacher training program and needed to be accepted. Both of us were accepted. And we met monthly with James and a small group of fellow teachers in training, where we received guidance, participated in leading others, and supported one another as we developed our skills. We also had to complete a practicum, a teaching practicum, in order to develop those skills. So we are both certified in the Awakening Joy program and each bring our passion to the course. And we emphasize this because we want you to feel well supported throughout the entire time as you awaken your joy. So what can I expect from each class?
Well, each class will be 90 minutes and it'll be an exploration of one or two of the steps of awakening joy. There's 10 steps. And then we'll practice on how to incorporate these steps into our daily lives, and also time for reflections and shares. What if I rarely feel joyful? Can I still benefit?
So in my opinion, and you've heard Michelle and I's story, um, that is our story, is we rarely felt joyful and we still benefited. I think anyone can. This is the course for you if you'd like to increase that sense of joy even by 1%. In the course, we don't overlook hardships, which I think is really important. We don't ignore the challenges in our life. We find a way to experience all of those plus all of the joy or contentment or peace that we can find within. So during this, will we talk about how to handle negative emotions, sadness, or stress?
Yes, as Ashley and I both talked about, and she just mentioned that we learn how to hold the negative emotions, the sadness, or work with stress. Awakening Joy invites us to notice the challenging times in our lives and explores ways to support and nurture, how we can support and nurture ourselves during those times. We learn how to turn toward the difficult feelings and allow them to be part of our experience. And then we cultivate a deeper inner wisdom that they aren't the entirety of our experience. How will this course keep help me notice joy in everyday life?
So I think this is really important because of our negativity bias that exists in all of us. It takes practice to focus on the right and the good. Creating spaciousness in the mind and the heart comes not only from understanding the principles, but from practicing them and opening ourselves to the fullness of the human experience. And we are fortunate to have a supportive community in which to do this together, which is why it's a group course. Although it's not essential, doing the course with a practice partner often adds to the experience as well. So you might invite a friend or a relative to take the course with you. What makes Awakening Joy different from other mindfulness or meditation courses?
I love this question. So, what makes this course so different is that after many years of studying and teaching Buddhism, James narrowed all his wisdom and all of his knowledge into 10 steps that incline the mind towards wholesome and expansive states. So it's years of Buddhist teachings into an easily accessible and deeply profound course. How do I integrate these practices into my busy schedule?
There is no failing this experience. Our intention for the course is a nourishing experience, especially as you let go of any guilt about what you do or don't do, to help in the process of allowing the conditions for joy to naturally arise. So, the way you'll be able to integrate these practices is that they are simple, and we give you the resources and tools as well as examples, concrete examples of how to use them in everyday life, no matter how busy your schedule is. And I like to remember that every little bit, even if it's 30 seconds to a minute, adds up over time. So thank you. And we hope that answering these questions were helpful, and we hope that we'll see you in the course.
Yes, thank you.